Failure is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear. Oh son, never mind.
Put 'em up!
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Things look bad. It looks like you're not gonna make it. And you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good evening. Welcome back to VP4TV. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. Welcome to Bill, Semi-Pro, Cobra, anybody else that's out there. We're here for a round 2 match tonight in the Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. We've got Albinario, of course, strong contender to maybe regain this title up against winkatme. I think this match, in terms of a matchup, I think it's very similar probably to the Cobra Smoke and Sid match. winkatme, if he can get his act together, he can do something similar to that Smoke and Sid did early on. Hopefully for winkatme's sake, he doesn't end up the same thing happening that happened to Smoke and Sid. The other news is we have another, I think, another couple of matches confirmed on the schedule. We've still got Spud Boy and Stub later on tonight. That's at 11 PM. I'm assuming Slim's going to be doing that. I'm already past my bedtime at the moment, but even though I don't have any work tomorrow. We've got Sergresh against Semi-Pro. That's on Friday at 7. Now, the problem we have there is there's a clash, and the clash is that we've got a big match with Cobra and Bedhead at the same time on Friday. That is certainly the one I'll be interested in. Larry goes at it with Fast Eddie. Surprisingly, that both of them are from the States, but they're going to be playing early afternoon, their time, on Sunday. That is at 6 PM British Summer Time. And finally on Sunday, LS3 and Interchange X at 8 o'clock. So that's a sort of double header on Sunday. The Larry Fast Eddie match could last around the 2 hours or slightly over the 2 hours, and it will run into maybe LS3 Interchange X. So good matches in the lineup between now and then, and of course by the end of this week I'll be off for a week, so got that to look forward to. What time are we at? We're about a minute, barely a minute probably, before this room goes up. We've already got a prediction, and we've got 2 predictions. Albi 1911, I think that's fair to say. Welcome to Matt. 19-8 to Albi. Everybody going for Albi. I would probably do the same. Welcome to Wit. Cold as Pillow. 1913, he says. I think we've seen in Friday Night 9-Ball that winkatme is very much a hot goal player. I mean, he can die a death. I've seen him die a death in some matches Friday Night 9-Ball, but I think he's good enough. It's whether his nerve will hold. The room is up. Let's get in. We've got the cloth at the right colour. We've got Albinario on the right hand side. Hopefully you're all hearing me loud and clear. Tell me otherwise, but there's nothing I can do about it now. Yeah, I've seen him get a bit of table time today. So Albinario has won the lag, race to 19, no jump cues, winner breaks. That sort of sums it all up. And the ball has gone in, and he has no shot. No shot, but everything is available here. The 3-ball, let's have a look at it. Well, the 3-ball is, I mean, you can get to it. You've just got to be in a certain area of the table to be playing that 3-ball comfortable. Now, is Albi going over the edge here? Oh no, he's calling a push out. I thought for a second there he was contemplating jumping over the edge of this 3-ball. Now, you've got to hit this one ball thin if you're going to overcut it and try and bring it to the short reel in the top. At the same time, you're trying to go behind the 8 ball and come back down to where you are. Good evening to Potman. That's what I'd be trying here. I'd be trying to overcut this one ball and get it thin and go behind the 8. Now, you see, well, that's one way of doing it. But he hasn't finished good in the 2. The one ball has gone. He's bumped the 8. The 8 has gone. And now he's got to duck. He's got to duck here. That 3 and 9 are asking to be hidden behind here. I don't think he's getting there though. He had almost the right line, just not the legs. I don't know whether winkatme's I'm just assuming it's a guy. I would have thought they would have told us otherwise if they weren't. And the safety wasn't good enough. Now, like I said earlier on, this 3 ball can be got at. He's got to watch how much he hits at this 9 ball, whether it pushes him way below the 5. And he's going to fluke the 9, is he? Yep, that solves that problem. So Albinario off and running. Well, the big fail there was that, in fact, that 3 ball pattern was there until the cue ball bumped into it. If that cue ball hadn't been there, we would have had the first 3 ball lineup of the night. Yeah, winkatme didn't really get that safe, but he safe. Left Albinario a pot. Who's Lex 200? Never heard of him. No, what happened in that Sijawi? That's the boy that got to the semi-final last year. What happened in that match? The only thing I do know is I saw Jack Lasowski beating Matthew Stevens. Beaten. He won 10-9. Who was he playing? And was that the second qualifying round or was it the third qualifying round? Because there only is 3 qualifying rounds. Or Mertens, is he not from the Netherlands or something like that, or Belgium? Well, this is the ideal start for Albinario and not the ideal start for winkatme. Well, one thing's for certain, Albinario's not potting anything this time. So the 6 ball has gone, no shot for the push. And if that was me, I'd be sticking him back in, winkatme. No, I won't be, no, because I'll be falling asleep at that time of night. Hopefully Slim will be there to get it. Well, winkatme put... now, did Albie hit that 1 ball? No, he didn't. So that was the right choice by winkatme. Now he's got a decision to make because, again, if he's potting the one, he's got to go up above that too. Got to go up above it. Now you see, now there's a problem because if he'd gone above it, he could pot it clean and not interfere with the 3. Now he's running into 3 and he's got to be careful with that. And he's pushed it dead. So that you know, there's the first mistake was right off the bat when he didn't make sure he was going high enough to pot the 2 clean into the side. These are basic mistakes that we all make, and this is why your position and stringing balls together is, you know, very much dead in the water when you don't get to that right spot each time. There's always a right spot to get to. Okay, a lot of shots will get a big margin of error, but in that case, you didn't want to be bumping into the 3. You wanted to leave it wide open. And the consequence is your chances gone on a table that wasn't all that challenging. And it's amazing how these things count at the end of the day. It counts for a good opportunity going with ball in hand. That's what it counts for. Well, winkatme's blasted the bank in, but got no luck running into the 5, and now he has to get lucky. He certainly doesn't want to push the 4 onto the 5 for a combo, or leaving a combo. And already this looks very much like 3-0. When are we going to see Hugh on Among Us? What the hell's Among Us? Oh, the yawning started already. You know what I had for my dinner tonight? I had scampi. That's what. Well, I had scampi with beans. I fancied scampi with, you know, a good lashing of vinegar, salt and pepper, lovely. So 3-0, ominous start. There was that pattern again and again. The cue balls ran into those 3 balls. That's twice we've saw Albi break, and that pattern has been left there, but the cue ball is running into them, which I've not seen happen before. Now, I would just like to, at this moment in time, I don't know whether Larry's there, whether Larry's hanging about, but to the remaining members of my Tactical Genius team for the weekend, I expect to see you getting some practice in, i.e. Bill, if he's feeling good to go. Coldest Pillow, and Larry. Now, anywhere in the open table here, don't be coy, just get it out into the open table. So winkatme's going to break his duck, and good that it happens sooner rather than later. So rack number 5 And that 6-ball thought about going in, but it hasn't. Albie's got the semblance of a shot here. This 1-2 combo to start. Again, a great table. But just what winkatme doesn't want, a dry break to follow his first rack. Look to get into that rhythm, but stalled immediately for the dry break. Well, Albie not taking on the combo. It certainly wasn't set. It wasn't going to be easy. But Albie knows the risks of leaving an open table like this with the way the balls are sitting. winkatme can't get to the potting angle of the 1. But what can he do to keep cover? Now, depends how thick he hits this 1. Well, that'll do. Now, just a word of note that I've been early tonight when I've been posting the links in the lobby. You will find that in the next, probably the next live stream that I do, VP4TV is just going to be on YouTube from now on. So if you are a Twitch subscriber and you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, then it might be best you started doing it, because it's going to be on YouTube only from now on. You have been given prior notice. Well, it might be king in your house, but it ain't in mine. And I saw a video today about YouTube becoming more restrictive with ad blockers. I don't. Obviously, I presume they've heard of this. What is it? What is it called again? uBlock or whatever the thing I'm using, because that works a treat. So it does on YouTube. Don't get any adverts. It's even good on the, like I maybe said this before, but it's good on the catch-up TV channels as well. If I go to channel 4, I can watch a film on channel 4 on the website, and I don't get any commercial breaks on it, because it's obviously blocking the signal to feed in the commercial breaks. I don't have any commercial breaks. So it works great. That ad blocker. Not ad blocker, but the other thing I was talking about, whatever it is, it's uBlock or something. Yeah, this is the second legs tonight, isn't it? And then is that there? Who's playing PSG? Is it Barca that's playing them? Can't remember what who the two ties are. Well, winkatme back to within 1. Do you have to be signed into Google? I don't. I'm signed into Google anyway when I'm in YouTube. Well, that's not exactly what winkatme wanted. Scratch the break. Ball in hand with a free go here for Albie. Yeah, that's what we're saying, Coldest Pillows. The guy had done a video today. I was watching it on YouTube talking about them becoming more restrictive. What they're saying is if you're watching videos on YouTube, now this is obviously so that those that have reached 1,000 subscribers actually get revenue from the ads that people are watching. You only ever have to watch an ad until the pop-up says, shut it down. You very often don't have to watch an ad any more than 10 seconds, if that. But what they're saying is if you start getting problems when you're watching videos with buffering and stuff, it's YouTube that's doing it. It's not your ISP or a poor connection. So if you start getting problems saying, oh, this is buffering, then it's probably because you've got your ad blocker that's conflicting with YouTube. So if you start noticing that happening, then you should now be aware of why it's happening. Well, I don't know what to do on Edge. Yeah, Cobra's wanting his biggest nemesis to go down fast. Of course he is. Albinario is usually the biggest hurdle to overcome if you're ever going to win one of these championships. But dry brakes don't help you, and scratches in the brake don't help your cause. The gap's going to go to 2. Right, I'm just tabbing out for a second just to shut down Discord. See the break, then I'll do a quick tab. I'll be back in a second. And this looks dry. It certainly does. 2 seconds. Right, that's that taken care of. So into rack number 7, Albie's brake dry. Now this is a good angle to send this cue ball up towards the 5 and 6 to have a shot in the 3. The angle's there to allow you to do that. The only problem is if you get it wrong and you go too, well, he hasn't hit it enough, I don't think, has he? Well, that's not too bad. Maybe a bit close for comfort, but and he's going to have to take, he can cut it up the table and come out for the 4. He can cut it to the side and try and hold for the 4. And that's well done. Well, now he's done the hard part. He's got to go through with this. I still say there should be a button you can press to hide opponent's cue. Why would that be? What would be the benefit of that? Watch this cue ball. There's far too much juice in that. Far too much juice. Way too much juice. This is going to go to bedhead territory. And suddenly that tighter control of the cue ball is just causing issues here, or the lack of it. Making more hard work for himself. And now recovered. Well, you can remember how far back I told Steve you're not sure whether you've mapped any of your messages. there's one other option of doing it, is to open a message in VP4 in the internal browser, and then just scroll down to where the message is and hit the trash button. But you spend ages doing that, especially if you've got lots of messages coming in and alerts and things about tournaments and sign-ups and all that stuff. Well, Gaza's been looking rough for years. So he has. I mean, I haven't seen Gaza recently, but I mean, that documentary made a few years ago, he looked rough in that. The website stuff is someone else's software. What, you mean the internal browser? Well, welcome to LS3. I never even noticed LS3 was in the building. What, you mean to say that Steve doesn't touch anything in the internal browser? Well, this ain't going to be easy. I mean, it's off the rail. Got to get this flush. If he bumps that into the rail too soon, it won't go. That's good enough. So 4 to the 5, not a problem. He'll want to probably, I mean, he's got a choice depending where he finishes. He can intend to finish inside the 6 and then just stun it in and come back for the 8, or he can bump the, well, looking at it now, he might go forward, bump the rail and come out into the table, but he's got to get into a big, you know, he's got to get high up the table to do that. He'd probably stay below here, I would think. Got to go inside. Yeah, the only problem is he's a wee bit straight, so he might want to try pinching a wee bit here, but he doesn't want to pinch too much for this. Or the message system. Well, that's probably why he's ignoring me telling him that the little dot doesn't highlight on the messages you want to delete. That's probably why it's not been. If it was easy, he would have done it. That's one answer. If it was an easy thing, he would have taken care of it. It's just annoying that there's a dot there that you can't see. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Albie's misjudged that. He's going to have to go for the bank. He's either overhit that or underhit it. But either way, he's going to have to recover with the bank. It is a good bank. I mean, I wouldn't expect him to miss it. So recovery complete. Gap goes back to 2. Oh, no shot. 7 ball has gone. Now the push out this time. Well, that 1 ball does squeeze past the 8. If you were going to play in and down here and leave a teaser there for winkatme, I don't think Albie will do that. But I mean, he could sort of. I mean, he could play up towards the 8 ball. He could play up to like here, and I mean, he's not leaving anything obvious. There's a dodgy cut into the side, but you know, sometimes you've just got to leave a little carrot dangling there and see if somebody will maybe take the bait. I don't see a problem with putting the cue balls down here like this. Because whatever you try to do with that 1 ball from there, it's tricky. Well, he's decided to play the 1. Now, he might regret that if winkatme get the further edge of that one and come off the rail and just dink back across here because there's room to do it. Yeah, it wasn't the best push out by Albie. I think my idea was probably not any worse than what Albie came up with. Or have I got these players round the wrong way again? This is what happens when you're looking at the chat again. It's now winkatme playing the kick. Well, again, I've got an excuse. Bloody tired. Well, it's definitely a one ball rack again. One ball goes in, and then it's what you do with the two. I done that the other night there again as well. It's glancing at the chat, and then you look back and suddenly something's changed, but you never noticed it because you were looking at the chat. Well, it's definitely Albinario at the table. And it's looking very much like it's going to be a first time for a 3-rack gap. I think winkatme has to find a way to stem any tide that might be heading against him. He might be swimming against. He needs to stem that rather quickly by whatever means he can. He will, of course, need the assistance of Albie having a dry break. Because demoralisation can set in rather rapidly if things start going downhill too soon. So the ball has gone. Oh, look at the 9 ball. It's gone. It comes back up. In fact, he would have probably preferred that 9 ball just hung over the pocket there. Because he could have potted this 2 and stunned in behind the 3 and played the 3-9 combo. Almost overdone that one though, but he's fine. I keep forgetting I've got Discovery Plus on my phone. I could have the bloody football on at the moment. Hang on. The Judgment Day snooker is on as well on YouTube. Anybody that wants to watch it. Whatever matches are still left. Right, so Dortmund's playing Atletico Madrid. Got Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid. They must. What time is it? When did that start, that match? How come there's a commercial break and it's only 8:30? I thought the Champions League matches started at 8 o'clock British summer time. Well, suddenly it's What is it now? A 4 gap. It's looking ominous already. There's still a long way to go. But, you know, obviously something has to happen whereby Winkatme can at least have some control of the table to actually try and change his fortunes. There's not much he can do when he's just sitting watching. Red card Barca. How come I can't get any live picture? What the hell's happening? Did these games kick off at 8:15 or something? I mean, for some reason the matches are supposed to be live, but I ain't seen any. Let's try that again. It's 30 minutes into the first half. Aye, that's what I thought it would be. I'm watching a whole lot of bloody commercials at the moment. Well, I'll wait. Just keeps potting balls in the break. Again, there's an open invitation to try and duck behind that 8-9, but it's tricky to judge. He may well be having a go at the cut in this too. So it's now, aggregate scores now 4-2 to Barcelona against Saint-Germain. Is that Mbappe not leaving Paris Saint-Germain anyway? Their main man. I think he wants out, doesn't he? Well, there's live baseball on Discovery Plus as well. Texas Rangers are playing. I don't know who they're playing, but it's on at the moment. I think I've just switched it on and missed a goal. I can't tell who the hell scored. Is it Dortmund that scored? Aye, it is. It looks like it. So Dortmund's got a goal. They're 1-0 up against Atletico Madrid. So that's me up to date in the football. And up to date as far as this match goes. Winkatme's at the table. Now that 8-ball, it goes. There's no worries here, but again, he's left a dodgy shot in this 5. It's make or break on this 5-ball. You heard Celtic were after Mbappe. Who are you trying to kid? Well, that's a very good shot. They couldn't afford Mbappe's left pinky, let alone the rest of his body. Now, same thing with this shot. He's got to play this 8-ball clean. I can do that. He's going to Real. I knew I heard something about it. He'll not be short of a good few £100 million by the time his career's over. Yeah, but I mean, I still think Celtic are short of a really good quality striker. I mean, Kyogo, as much as he gets goals, he's not got the strength of a really good striker. I would like to see another 4 or 5 inches in height on him. Bad result for Rangers at the weekend, though. They blew their chances there. But if this twice postponed match goes ahead tomorrow night, I think they're due to play up at Dundee. They might either be playing in Dundee or playing in Perth. If Dundee's pitch is still crap, they might switch the game to St John's ground. And if Rangers win that, they'll have played the same amount of games as Celtic, but they'll still be a point behind. So, winkatme got a rack back in the board, trailing before, and this is the make or break shot for Albinario to open the gap again. If he gets the 5, expect him to be out. And a number of weeks ago, Celtic played Dundee at Celtic Park, and I think, what was it, they beat them 7-1. And it was a completely different game from what they normally play. It was like they were playing with 2 wingers that day, and they were a far better side for that. They had cross balls coming in from either side of the pitch. Maybe it was just good fortune that day that there was generally always somebody in the end of the cross into the net. But they're back to playing the way they play, and teams have just got wise to it. Teams have just sort of shutting Celtic down. Lined across the 18-yard box, and then trying to push further up the pitch, as they call it, the forward press, to limit the amount of time they've got to be on the ball. So some teams have got wise to it, some other ones just sit back, as most of them do when they go to Celtic Park. They just sit back and line across the 18-yard box, and so that's why, well, for most of I think the first half was 0-0, was it not? So it just stifles the flow of opportunities, and then if they get lucky, they get up and score a goal. and I just think it's quite boring. We need a good centre half at Celtic Park. Well, there's a mistake from Albie. If you wait long enough, you'll see a mistake, and that was it. And this is far too tight. This 5 ball, it will go past the 9, but any touching the 9, it ain't going in. That's the problem with this shot. He's got to get this absolutely clean, and he's not much room to work. Well, he did get a touch in it, and it still went in. I'm surprised at that, but he'll take it. Now, what does he do? Does he baby this in and drop top side of the 7 to play it into this bottom left-hand corner? It looks as if that's what he's doing. No, he's running it. Now he needs to avoid the bump. And he hasn't. And where's the cue ball going? Oh, disaster. He should have babied it in and went across the top. Tried to be a hero. Tried to do good. And again, it's about just taking what you've got there and not trying to take too much, and that's what he did. If he just babied that in and judged the pace of that cue ball coming across the top of the table, he would have had a shot down into this corner past the 9 ball. Aye, but Barca have still got a 2-goal advantage, are they not? That's what I just said, and they're not 4-2 up. It's a big ask. It's a big ask for Barcelona will just do what I was talking about. They'll just have 9 across the 18-yard box and just say to Paris Saint-Germain, let's see what you can do. And of course, there's always the break up the pitch and a quick sucker punch goal. Oh, they got a goal back. Well, there's far too much time left, isn't there? They'll be just finishing the first half, in fact. And was the sending off a Paris Saint-Germain cheat, if you know what I mean, looking for the foul, or what was it? Was it a second yellow card, or was it just a dangerous play? Alright, so it was, he was through in goal and it was right. Well, that is a sending off. If there was nothing else, if there was only the goalkeeper between him and the net, then he's sent off. Well, this is now, I think we would agree that it's now ominous here for winkatme. He needs something to be good. Well, he did have that chance. I don't know how. Again, I was reading the chat, so I don't know how he missed it. But Albie's back at the table. Good afternoon to Vertical Liquid. The 9 balls off the rail. There's no issue here. Just a roll in and a little stop shot with the cue ball. 11-4, and well, Albie's had another. I mean, has Albie had a dry break tonight? If he has, he's had one. But I think the balls have been going in pretty much more often than not, and he's got a clean shot in the 2, and well, the problem's the 5 ball, isn't it? That's the only problem, especially where the 4 ball is. This 4 ball looks fairly tight. It's not frozen to the rail, it's a little bit off the rail, but it's well, the only thing, the other problem is the 8 ball. if you were potting the 4-ball trying to come over to a line, you know, to be able to play this combo, this 8-ball is in the way just of the line that you'd want for comfort here to get to possibly play the combo. And, you know, Albie's looking at it. The other problem is he's got way too much angle on this 4-ball as well. He would have liked it shallower, probably. So we'll see what he can come up with. Well, you see, he's ran into the 8-ball. The commentator's eye called it, and he was looking at the billiard for a second. He's contemplating the billiard. He's looked at his options. The billiard looks a bit thin, though. Yeah, I don't think the billiard's on. It's too thin. And the 5-ball's too close. The 5-ball needs to be a wee bit further away to be able to comfortably have a go at the billiard. So he's had a go at the bank. Well, he got it close, but he didn't get it in. So here's the lifeline to perhaps, well, at least give Winkatme a chance to. Oh dear, that wasn't great. He should have been well out of there. But it does give him a chance to get this rack tidied up and hopefully, for the sake of having a match, get something going with his break. Oh, is that getting there? That is absolutely terrible. Now there's a choker, if ever you've seen it. I mean, there was nothing convincing about that shot whatsoever. That is the worst shot of the night. I mean, from a wide open table, I mean, the way he played the 7-ball was not good to start with. And then that disaster in the 8-ball, where all you want to do is nip it in and hold the cue ball, and he bottled out in it. Bottled out in it big time. And that is painful. Big swing there. From 10-5 to 12-4 in the blink of an eye. And that is more than self-inflicted damage. That's suicide. That's what that is. Well, Albie's got the match won. Really. And it's a catastrophic failure. Would be how you would describe it for Albinario to fall apart and somehow find a way to lose this. And I think Winkatme's annoyed at himself. He's got to keep his. He's got to keep to the same rules. You know, don't start banging at balls, hope for miracles, because that's the give up. Well, there isn't a similar pattern in this match to the Cobra Smoke and Sid match the other night. At least Smoke and Sid got himself going for a number of racks that got him into a lead that put a bit of pressure on Cobra. There's been nothing of that. Albinario is well settled. 13-4 in front. Can't stop potting balls in the break. The only thing that's stopping him is the fact he's not got a shot. That's the only thing that's stopping him. If he can see that one, he's out again. Why not just roll it over to the left-hand rail? Yeah, just like that. And leave leave a teaser there. I mean, that's not going. There's not enough of the pocket there, really, at that distance and at that angle to pot that clean. Too difficult. Well, the cue ball has to go, and it has. That's a good result. So at least he's given himself a chance here. With Albinario stuck behind the 6 ball. Is he going to get the hit? No, he's not. He decided it wasn't worth the risk. He'd much rather try and tie something up. But Albinario's failed on that score because he hasn't stuck the 5 onto the 9. And winkatme's got a chance. Again, he has to play this sensibly where if he wants to, he can just roll that 5 down the rail. So he's on the 4. Now, let's have a look at the angle, though. He doesn't want to be interfering with the 9, and that's what he's going to be doing. Now see that again, nothing convincing about that shot at all. And all because he didn't get right on the 5. These are minimal things, but at the level that you have to be at to beat guys and be competitive with guys like Albi and Cobra, you've got to come up with something of higher quality. And it does come down to how good your positioning is, how good the shape is on tricky little things like that. It makes all the difference. Because when winkatme was playing that 5 ball, he wasn't sure where the cue ball was going coming off the 9. Well, what I'm saying is it was difficult, but it was difficult because he made it difficult by not getting the right spot in the first place. You've got to be thinking about that before you play the shot. Albi with a 10 rack lead has come up dry again, but has got lucky. He's left nothing. Good question. I never even thought of looking at that earlier on. Where the hell are we here? It's a round 2 match, isn't it? There we are. Acero's waiting. Now, Acero, I think, will be a far tougher proposition. Now that I mention it, Acero won his match earlier on against Rabi, 19 racks to 8. So Acero is a much stronger proposition than winkatme. He most certainly is. I don't think I've any doubt in that. Albi will still be the favourite, but Acero's more like a player that could give Albi problems. So that'll be one to look forward to. Well, you would have left that angle knowing that you're going to be running into the 9 ball and not really 100% how much of that 9 ball you're going to hit and whether you were going to end up just right above the 6 ball with no cut on. I'm talking about the doubt that winkatme had in his head. Maybe you could have played it with no doubt in your mind of what was happening, but you could tell by the fact that not only did he miss the pot, he didn't do anything convincing in the shot at all. He should do them already in very quick succession, where he's just been at a loss as to how he was going to get out of it. What I'm talking about is leaving yourself in doubt on shots. Now I'm looking at this from this end of the table. This looks like a roll through for the 7 into the other side pocket. And now a roll through or a stop for the 8 into the corner. Little minor things, especially little angles, is what makes the difference in whether you're going to be good or bad for your next shot. So 15-4. And Albie's break percentage tonight must be pretty damn good. I would say very good. Because I think he's had probably 2 dry breaks. One of them recently there where he left the cue ball up table and the 9 ball was covering the 1, and maybe one other before that. But I think his ball percentage in the break should be pretty good. Again, just wants to have. I mean, probably straight wouldn't do him any harm on this 5 ball. Just a little dink back, 2 or 3 inches, and he'll have maybe a slight angle in the 7, but loads of room. Let's have a look. How does that look? Is he heading towards the 8? He's just got himself close to the rail, but he's going to be close, but he's checked it up. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's. Let's have a look and see what he's doing. He's breaking centre, and he's still getting balls in the break. Unfortunately, this time the cue ball's one of them. So here's a table that is good, no problems. But the problem is from the 3 to the 4. Right, so let's have a look. Well, if you smack this in and slam the rail, I'm sure you can still spin up the table into the open space for this 4 ball. He's played the big draw. Maybe there wasn't enough angle for the big stun, but he's got there. By hook or by crook, he's got there, giving himself a chance. And straight away he's gone. Well, I'm not sure what he's gone there. Did he try to leave that into this bottom right hand corner and he's gone too far? Now he's on the left corner. I don't know. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt with that one. I think he overhit it. Because now he's got a bit more work to do with the cue ball to have a decent shot in the 7. And he's trying to hold it. Now it's got tougher again at distance. And everything becomes hard work when you're not in full control of where this cue ball's going. Everything there's at distance, so it's always dodgy, and this is as dodgy as it's going to be. And inevitably, that's what happens. Now, the other point to make is that if there's guys in this tournament that are in it and thinking, oh, I can win this if I'm on form. This shows you the gulf between the top players and good players. The gulf is, I think, mostly is down to that control of the cue ball, the minor things, the little minor things that actually, they might be minor things, but they suddenly magnify into big things when I'm talking about getting that right angle on certain shots that will aid your progress in running racks and making your life much easier. There's a gulf between the top players and them that are in there making up the numbers that are solid players but fall short in that consistency level. Because you know, if you think you're going to have a chance to win it, not only you got to do that and be good in your first match that you play, you've got to sustain that level, especially and even more when you come up against a guy like Albinario. You know, half measures are no good against these guys because they're just going to do the same thing rack after rack. Nothing's going to change. They've got their way of doing things. It's very successful, and you know they're the ones that they've got the least problems. Your problem is to sustain a level to put them under pressure and keep with them. And if you're doing, first big mistake is unforced errors, things where you're giving racks away, and then secondly, if you're getting out of shape when you've got good tables and throwing away opportunities, you just cannot do it. You have to be at a high level and you have to sustain it, not only for that match, but right through the tournament. You can have a bad match, but that's it. You know, if you're going to be at the deep end, you've got to be playing at a high level for a sustained period of time. And that's why players like Cobra and Albinario are there or thereabouts come the end of the tournament, because that's what they do. They have a level, and their level is high, and you've really, you know, if you're a decent player, you've got to catch them in an off day where they're getting dry breaks or where they're getting a bad roll of the ball, and you're good enough to take that advantage by pinching a fair number of racks that way. But more often than not, the gulf was there for the reasons I've just said. It's just the minor things, how good the shape is, thinking about that next shot, what's the better angle for your next shot, all the little minor things that magnify into big blunders at the end of the day. You know, we've seen it time and time again. We've seen it often enough, and then you know you can't just sit and say, "Well, Albie's won that tournament, Albie's won this one, Cobra's won that one." In between it, somebody will win something, but more often than not, the best players are in at the deep end pretty much all the time. Well, Albinario, slowly but surely, is going to get there. And in between that, Winkatme's amassed 5 racks. I very much doubt he's going to get any more than that. But you know, before this match started, I didn't think the gap would be that big. I mean, I would have, you know, Winkatme's more than good enough to get to double figures. But Albinario is, you know, the things that you need to aid you haven't happened a great deal for Winkatme. You know, Albinario making too many mistakes, Albinario making too many dry breaks, that's not happened. And when that doesn't happen, then you're up against it, because then you have to be playing at that high level to make the most of what you do get. And that, thereby you see the gulf between the two players overall. So Albinario on the hill. Comprehensive performance by Albi. Very good level. Very few mistakes. Very solid break tonight. Balls are going in on far too regular a basis as far as winkatme was concerned. He was just never getting the amount of opportunities he needs. And when he did get them, he didn't really make the most of them. Yeah, winkatme is just having a slam and a hope at the end of this. Get it over with. Well, he's got a little roll of the ball. Got Albi hook. But Albi does that. And now how's that for demoralising your opponent when you're on the hill? He's going to try and hit this solid in the back. Punch it up table. Use the 5 ball. And how's that for demoralising your opponent even more? Nail them to the 5 ball. That's knocking the stuffing out of him. So this is hasta la vista time. Maybe he might bump onto the 9. Because he wants that little angle off the 2 just to drop for the 5. So he's bumping the 9. And he's got a nice little angle to stun this in. Little firm stun. The angle's there to let the cue ball do its business. He might go running up the table to come down for the 8 once he cuts this 6 into the side. Just depends on whether he gets a good enough angle. So he has fallen short. He'll probably go up table and come down that side, I would think. Yep, down the shorter side. He's dead weight. And again, probably straight up into the table for a shot in the 9. And the mistake's been made in the 8. And is he going to get lucky? Of course he's going to get lucky. Well, this is an up and down kick in. Preferably the rail first, unless he can squirt it past the 9. I think he's looking around and looking around. I don't know why he's not looked up. I mean, up and down, go to the rail and brush the 8 in. Oh, he'll follow this in. Oh, he hasn't. He's played it well. Yeah, that's up and down. I see the danger with the Massey is if you get the Massey too good, you follow it in. But fortunately, this time it worked out good for him. And he's managed to pinch a rack. Albinario making... I mean, you can count the amount of mistakes Albinario has made in one hand tonight. He made one there. It's given winkatme a bonus rack. Well, you would agree, Larry, that Masseys, they're tricky to judge. You either get the spin working and it works good, or it works too soon and the grit comes in too soon. I mean, I've played Masseys and dinked them and they've come out perfect, and then you misjudge the next one. Just depends how much room you've got as well. I mean, if you've got a lot of room like that, that's fine. But I think when you're a bit closer, sometimes it can be trickier. Well, Albinario, I think, is he on the wrong side of this 3 ball? He's fine. Well, he's fine, but he just actually overhit that. See, there was a wee semi-pro wiggle there by Albi. He was a wee bit annoyed. He's run too far. Now he's going to run over, maybe bump the 6. Well, he's trying to jack up to hold it and leave a bedhead cut. That's what he's trying to do. So, 5 ball goes. It's got the room to get there. And he's played it well, but it's wiped its feet. It just caught the point, but the pace it caught the point at was just enough for it to die on the edge of the pocket. There wasn't enough impetus to get it into the hole. So another bonus rack coming here. He's going to go past the side pocket. He's not going to catch the knuckle. He's fine. So what's the golden rule with this shot? Don't finish on top of the 8 ball. That's what you don't want to do. You want a line where you're coming down either side, and he's coming down perfectly. So another unforced error from Albinario. So all Albinario's mistakes have happened in the last 2 racks. So, well, he's got a ball, and he's got a ball and a bank, and I don't think the bank's that great either. Let me have a look. Not really. I don't think it's dead set, this bank. He's trying to duck for cover. Oh, it's going to have to hold up behind that 7, and it hasn't got there. Well, you've arrived in time to see the end of the match, Hazard. We'll have a quick look at the stats for the match when this is done. Should be interesting to have a look at it. Now, how far is Albinario's generosity going to stretch to? He's done it again. Well, here we go, Larry. Here we go. How's this for a Massey around the 7 ball? Now, watch how this takes. And that's actually perfect that it ran around the corner, just caught it. Well, another testy 7 ball, but these are going to be possibly 3 racks pinched from 3 errors from Albi. This is not a gimme. Far from it. And that was the only danger there, was running into the 9. Well, what do you do? Do you go for the bank, or do you just do that? We could be here for another 20 minutes. And I could be watching the football. Albi's had a blast. It ain't getting there, but this 8 ball's going to be awkward. It's going to be very awkward, but let me have a look. No, that's fine. That's perfect. As far as being able to cut it and not scratch, I think. But he's going to be deadhead territory for this 9 ball, or it's a bank. In fact, this looks even dodgier when you get down and look at it. It's maybe dodgier than I thought. It's close to the point. Well, he's got it, but needless to say, he was never ever going to be good in the 9. What do you do here? You line it up for the bank into this corner. You play the thin cut. Got to watch the cue ball here because you've got to hit it with pace to get the cut to work. And that's it. It's all over. So it's a 19 racks to 7 win for Albinario. I'll say that again for Albinario. What, PSG's got a goal, so that's same all square now. Well, Albinario did a bit of faffing there, but he's got there eventually, and I think the vast majority of his errors happened right there, the last 3 racks. So well done to Albinario, and we'll see now that he's now into round 4, and we'll have that match with Acero. So if we go back to the main event page, and we go to the stats, and we go and look at Albinario. Like I say, I think his break will be showing reasonable stats, I would imagine. That'll work. Right, there we go. Break stats. Well, there you go. What did I say? 1.3. Pretty good. Runouts from the break 5. Percentage 84. Winkatme not at the races at all. Racks run 7 from Albinario. His racks high run was just a 2 and 100% on Moneyball shot. So pretty high. I think Albinario will do well to keep that break stat all the way through the tournament. But it's certainly good for his match tonight. So back to that schedule. Just a quick reminder to anybody who's maybe turned up late. We've got Spud Boy and Stubb later on tonight. Now that should be, again, with the greatest respect to Spud, it's going to be a tough ask. I'll give Spud because Stubb's going to take risks and make mistakes. What's the one loss side to a race to 13? Well, if Spud Boy can get 5, he'll do well. And he should do 5 with the amount of opportunities he'll get from Stubb. And hopefully Slim might be there to get that. We've got Sergaresh semi-pro, and we've also got Cobra and Bedhead on Friday. Sergaresh semi-pro, I'll start with that match. Not that match, I'll start with the Cobra Bedhead match. We'll jump back and forward depending on what's happening in both. But obviously the big match is Cobra Bedhead. We've got Larry Fast Eddie on Sunday at 6 PM. I'll be there for that. We've got LS3 Interchange X, which is at 8 PM. So a couple of matches back to back there that I certainly should be around to get because I'll be on holiday, and the World Snooker Championship start on Saturday. Right, so that's it, folks. Good luck to Winkatme on that one loss side. He's going to obviously not get it quite as tough, I wouldn't think. But he's got a lot to do. Albinario is just carrying on from where he's left off. Looking, of course, to steal this title away from Cobra during this tournament. Cobra being the current champion. So, with that, folks, thanks for your company. Remember what I said. Get switched over to YouTube because that's where I'm heading on VP4 TV from now on. That's where we're going to be going when I'm doing VP4 live streams. I'm going to be leaving that Twitch channel. So if you're not signed up to join the chat on YouTube, when you've got the time, please do it. And I will see you again very soon. So until we meet again.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Good night, ladies.
And see you later.